What's up, guys, and welcome back to Card Capital. I'm your host, Super Genji88, and I'm here with Eric Hernandez, your Cardfight Vanguard 2013 World Championship Chicago Qualifier. Wow, that's a mouthful. First place winner, and his Aqua Force deck. You want to go ahead and give us a deck profile, Eric?
Sure. So, my starter was Eric, your usual grade 3 searcher.
Is that your avatar? Do people call you Officer Cadet now?
No, but that would be funny.
Alright, I'm going to start doing it for you.
Alright, I ran 4 Pyroxene Beam Dragons.
So looks cooler than the Dolphin.
4 Seagulls.
Okay, so we got 8 stands.
The 4 Draws.
The only 4 draws.
And the 4 Heals.
Wow, so no crits.
No.
How did you feel about that? Were there times, did any of your opponents obviously figure that out, that you didn't have crits, so they would take your attack at 4 damage, no perfect guard?
It kind of seemed so at some point, but otherwise it didn't really seem like it mattered too much. Although I did want to check in 1 crit, just for a surprise.
But you would have been over your trigger limit, right?
Yes.
He brought this stand or something.
Alright, so for grade 3s, 4 Benedicts. This was like MVP throughout the whole matchups that I had. And it was just amazing.
Did that take people by surprise? I know the card's been previewed, it's been out for a month and a half, 2 months maybe at most. Did people not understand what he was doing?
I had a few questions about it. I had multiple outs, and people were surprised that it restood for each one.
Yeah.
And that was a good surprise factor to that.
And with the stands, he just kept coming back.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
How many times did you have to ride him as your main Vanguard?
Only once. But shortly after that turn, I recorrected the grade.
Okay. Got into one of your 11Ks?
Yes. Then 2 regular Maelstroms and 2 Glory Maelstroms.
This card win games?
Yes, it did.
I know you used this guy's effect at least once or twice. Easy to get the multiple attacks going early game. They couldn't, they just didn't have cards. I saw you steamroll. He was playing Pelennor, Ezel, or Platina rather, and you just steamrolled him with this guy and took out so much card advantage. It was so good.
Yeah, this is the thing about running both of these. Although, if you're wondering, I could only afford these 2. But having the 4 Benedicts helps out for his Dwarf attack. And once you cross ride, you can give all triggers to him. Yeah. So he actually hits for big numbers and restands. So got the grade 3s down.
You ever cross ride once or twice maybe?
I cross rided 3 times out of the whole event. So
8 standard rounds plus then the top 8, top 4. Yeah. So 11 rounds basically. Yeah. So 3 times out of 11.
I know on my final round I did cross ride once I reached 5th damage.
Nice.
Alright. 4 Lazarus. 4 Valeria.
Now this card, how often did this card take people by surprise? You're running so many of her. And it requires 4 attacks in order to get her effect.
Yeah.
Were people shocked when you... retire that.
I only pulled off her effect twice because I don't usually trigger her off. And I've gotten stands on her, but they were never able to go through. But on the semifinal round, it did, it was that crucial moment where I retired his Vivian, and that
easy
decided
target for her.
Yeah, that was the deciding factor on that, and she was pretty good. Although 4 was a bit too much sometimes. I would probably run something different.
We'll talk about that at the end.
You made the adjustment for the nationals.
And then
Nice.
now this, I was kind of iffy on running 3 because I was just the sheer amount of 11Ks around. But surprisingly, I only faced like 2 decks that like either got the right chain off or just had 11K Vanguards. So he was
So
still
not
pretty
too much of a problem.
Yeah.
So 11K in cross ride's not really a thing here in Chicago.
Alright, grade 1s, the AK booster,
No?
or them. 3 Dorothea.
Do you think 3 was overkill? I mean, were you seeing too much of her? Because really, you only want her behind,
Yeah, the Vanguard.
the Vanguard.
She wasn't much of a problem. I just like getting her early on for the pressure. Although, I would probably cut that down to 2 though. 3 Eugene.
How's this guy working out for you? I mean, early game.
He was primarily my ride target. He was not used whatsoever except for a booster.
Okay,
once or twice.
so you never used him on the
No.
rear guard to use his ability.
And reason being is, I'll tell you guys later on. 2 light signals penguin soldier.
Love the penguin.
He's pretty decent. And that's really about it.
Bob represent.
And then my 2 perfect guards. And only 2 because I couldn't afford 2 more.
Hey, it worked, man.
Yeah.
It worked.
And that's where the Eugenes come in. I didn't really have 2 perfect guards, so I just filled in the spots for these, just in case if I needed Storm Riders.
So no damage enablers
No,
or
no, that was
none of the other like good
No.
7Ks really. I mean, what
No.
changes would you make if you like got handed $100 today and were able to
40
buy
hands in.
and we're able? I mean, would you make the changes or would you keep it the same? I mean, you're going to Worlds. Somebody comes up, they give you $100. They say, here's your money. Like, would you just spend it on something else, or would you use it to complete your deck? I mean,
I would use it to complete my deck.
okay, so what changes would you make?
I would really try to get 2 more perfect guards.
Okay.
My matchup against Kevin Show, he was running Platina Azel, and he was hitting for big numbers. And the times when I had this against him would have been really helpful because it would have been perfect guards.
Yeah, because you lost. That's the only person you lost to in
Yeah.
the Swiss rounds.
Yes.
And that was what, round 7?
Round 8.
Round 8, you lost to Kevin Cho.
Yeah.
And then you made it in top 8, and he got knocked out in the semifinals.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you did great, man. I think the deck looks good. And for your grade 3 lineup with that $100, what would you change? Because that's like 30 at most.
Yeah.
Like, what would you change in the grade 3s?
Grade 3s, well,
I mean, you like the Benedicts. I mean, Benedict rocked it.
the Benedicts is amazing at 4. It's just the deciding factor is either making it a Glory Maelstrom Benedict or a Maelstrom Benedict, but I would preferably go for the Glory Maelstroms.
Glory Maelstroms.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the deck profile. Congratulations on your first place win in Chicago.
right.
And I hope to see you go to Japan and become the world champion.
All right, thanks.
As always, thanks for watching, guys.